Okay, so here we are, week 4. Got another weird routing one where you're locked out of layer and all the early branches that you'd like to do normally. Uh, this is basically the route or a similar route to last week with the Hedge Wizard challenge. Let's see. See if this is up to date. Yeah, this was still collect a rune before S branches. So that was basically like slime or vaults first. You could do abyss as well. But this round we're doing Revenant Necromancer. God options are Ru, Che, Kiku. Bonus 1. Getting a rune before entering lair. So lair is off limits to begin with. Bonus 2, we have to get a rune from hell before entering any other rune branch. Importantly, this excludes the abyss. I asked for clarification in Discord, and you can get the abyss rune before getting the hell rune, and this bonus will still work. So you're not going straight from depths into hell, right? You're gonna want to make a stop in abyss first to probably get some experience. Honestly, I'm gonna want to farm abyss 1 and 2 for as long as I can if it's available. But then eventually get the abyss rune first. That opens up lair at least for bonus 1. Can't do any S branches yet. But you can at least get lair experience, which isn't going to be much at that point. But there may also be a lucky drop in lair, some consumables. Lair is usually pretty sparse on items. Yeah, this is pretty tight, the same kind of tight routing that we've been used to so far this tournament. Normally my strategy so far in the tournament has basically been waiting until someone else finished the week, right? It's much easier to come in here and go, oh, what did the main team do? And kind of look through and what they get for spells, skills, how'd their skilling go? How was their routing? Get an idea of route. And these are generally pretty helpful. They're not, they're not prescriptive. It's not that you have to copy someone and follow exactly what they're doing, but it can be helpful. So that's what I've been doing so far. Gonna break that this week. Yeah, this right now there's no previous winner to draw from. That's kind of intentional this week. I'm kind of getting tired of waiting for other people. And if you're, looking at last week, if this is any indication, I mean, maybe it was just a bad week, but either people are like playing less or getting unlucky. But basically, I'm not going to count on just having a bunch of quick wins to go in and look at because this is another hard week, right? May end up in a situation where there's only a handful of wins to even look at, and they may take quite a while. So I'd rather just get this going as soon as I can. The important choice here really is the god. I think the routing is pretty straightforward. There's not any real flexibility here. The hell you choose is really important, and the god you choose. Now, if we weren't a revenant, if we were some other not undead necromancer, Kiku would be a pretty good choice for a couple of reasons. They give you torment protection, which is nice in the hells. You don't necessarily have to spend a crazy amount of experience on shapeshifting. You get some protection there. You also get the Necronomicon, giving you access to Death's Door and Revivification. Not usable if you're undead. So, the main appeals of Kiku, the torment protection, the guaranteed necro spells, and the Necronomicon. Even if you don't go with the Necronomicon because you're playing undead and you went with the Pain brand, we're Revenant specifically, and you should just be using claws on Revenant. So the Pain brand is also pointless. So I'm just not going to consider Kiku as a real option. Which leaves Rue and Che here. And I know Che gets a bad rap. People don't like moving slowly. But, depending on the character, if you're a necro, if you're a summoner, yeah, Rue and Extended. I don't think I've ever tried Rue and Extended. But it kind of depends on how you do Rue sacrifices. Like there's a couple different ways you can go about it, and if you're the type of player that rushes towards APOC and want to be casting APOC on D7, you just take the highest piety sacrifice you get offered, and you just deal with whatever you end up with. My strategy on Rue has historically been the opposite of that, which would be a bunch of middling sacks, a bunch of sacrifices that aren't going to be a great impediment to my character in the long run, because I usually don't feel like I need APOC that quickly. And I will often see 3 sacrifices that I don't want and reject them and just wait on a new round. So the Rue thing, and I've went back and looked at my Rue logs at one point, and worst case scenario, you're getting to 5 stars on Rue by the end of Lair. So it's, in the grand scheme of it, it's not a big delay to be selective with your sacrifices, right? It's something you can do. It's just how I play it. Now, the actual upside on Rue, you get the aura, and I can't reference the wiki right now because it's down. But the Rue aura is really significant. Draw out power, really significant. The leap, having an extra mobility option, great. And everyone's favorite APOC. How well that all translates to Extended, I'm not totally sure. Che, on the other hand, I know is actually a decent Extended pick, depending on the character, depending on the species. Like Null Che is a common one. I would think you would want to be a pretty strong hybrid, like a Knoll, obviously, or like a Baraki. Anything that can do well, making use of the Dex, Int, and Strength bonuses. Because if you're just, if you're just a melee character, a melee strength guy going Che, you're missing out, really. I think just the power curve on Che early on may make this easier overall. I'm not going to need any sort of help going through dungeon and orc. Like that's going to be fine. It's going to start getting difficult in elf. And that'll be dependent on, resists found, spells found. And in elf, what would I rather have, Rue or Che? I don't think anything's particularly fast in elf. There's a lot of open bullshit that you could just smite with APOC with Rue. Yeah, Rue is probably the better choice for elf. By depths, Che might pull ahead. Kind of depends on spells you find, armor, gear you find. If you've got heavy armor and good spells to cast, like if you found Permafrost Eruption, and you have heavy armor that you can wear and still cast in it, you'd probably have a pretty easy time in depths with Che. On the other hand, you would also probably be fine with Rue. I mean, APOC is just good the whole game. Doesn't really matter. The Abyss, though, this I think is the more deciding factor. And I think being Che in Abyss is probably as bad as it can get. Because you do want to spend a lot of your time running away and repositioning. Lair, it doesn't matter at all. So Abyss, I'm definitely favoring Rue. Yeah, APOC is really loud in Abyss, and that might, like call things to you. You do also get drained from it. Yeah, and you just kind of have more options, or more flexible options with Rue, I think. Lair's not consequential. Hell, though. What is... first of all, what's the easiest Hell gonna be for this character? I'm just because of the order of this. Well, I mean, I could try for Ascetic. It's honestly not a good idea. Ash is still on the board apparently for a god next week, and I don't know. I don't think bonuses get repeated throughout the tournament, so I'm not sure what the likelihood on getting a set of bonuses that doesn't send you on like a weird branch order, right? Yeah, so let's just so obviously Gehenna, you've got minus scroll, minus potion and Cocytus, -8 AC in dis. Yeah, whatever. This is will over 2 now, I think. But the effects are less. I think the effects are less the problem than the other things you're going to find there, right? Because we're undead, so like each one of these, at least these 3, everything but dis. The top 3 all have tormentors of some kind, like Brimstone, Ice, and Shadow Fiend, or Tsitsi, whatever. These 2, of these 2, I think the Ice Fiend is the less threatening one for, mainly for the fact that it doesn't have damnation on top of torment. Obviously, we're immune to torment from all 3, but Brimstone, you have to deal with damnation despite being immune to torment. And the Ice Fiend just has Bolt of Cold, which, as an undead, you have at least 1 implicit pip of RC. So that's really, I think that's kind of the clear winner, just considering the fiends. And the important thing here is that the shadow fiends, the tsitsis, tsitsi flies, have Dispel Undead ranged. So they're also really dangerous. And I think more dangerous than Damnation. I think it just, like, the damage roll is much higher on Dispel Undead. So I really don't want to deal with Shadow Fiends. I want to deal with Brimstone Fiends, a little more than them, but I think Ice Fiends are what I would much rather deal with. And then 3D 32, that sounds about right. I mean, I could, what can we do here? Gotta figure out everything. Yeah, you pulled it up in Discord. Yeah, 3D 32 for Dispel Undead range. I think the range is 4 on it, if I remember correctly, but yeah, regardless, I don't want to deal with Shadow Fiends. And then there's nothing else in Tartarus that's like so, disproportionately easy to offset the Shadow Fiends. So I think Tartarus is just out, right? Gehenna's pretty straightforward, and the thing with Gehenna, if I'm a Revenant, and Necro included, I'm really inclined to go for Ice and Earth. Like Permafrost is like the big thing. If I could get Rime Blight as well, you could get BVC along the way. So as Revenant, I really want to get to having cold spells. If I could go into Gehenna with Permafrost, Rime Blight, and Refridge, I mean, it almost feels like a free branch, Everything in there, basically everything, is at least cold vulnerable. The opposite in Cocytus, most things are fire vuln, and it's really unlikely that we're going to go for fire. I think Revenant's -2 in fire, so that's a really unlikely path. Dis, I could see a weird, and maybe we won't. There's no way we'd have the experience for this, but I could see a weird scenario where we find Shatter early, and then just pump Earth like crazy to get Shatter on. And with Revenant, you don't really need to get it online. If you get it to the point that it's castable with Enkindle, you you can probably get by with like Bombard as your main spell in Dis. It wouldn't be pleasant by any means, but you could get by with BVC Bombard in Dis. So there's something there. But this is that one's really unlikely to me. Depends on getting, perfect spells. I'm going to like bookmark Gehenna as the one I'm probably gonna go to. Damnation is annoying, but there is at least some counterplay. And then, everything in Gehenna being Volunteer Cold, which is ultimately the school that I'm going to want to get into. If by some strange stroke of events, we end up with, all the best fire spells in the game for whatever reason. I mean, I really doubt it. Maybe we get like Hellfire Mortar or something, right? Then Cocytus becomes a lot more appealing. So we'll say Gehenna first in the front running, Cocytus second. We're just not doing Tartarus. And Dis is like really, it would be a weird scenario for me to want to do Dis. I generally think it's the most dangerous hell. And do my best to avoid it, especially if you don't have Shatter. So I guess planning on Gehenna, one of the fire or ice hells. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for like planning. I don't think there's much more to think about beyond that. So let's go over here. Let me do this. Okay, now we're over here. Let's just make sure. Yep, that's all good. So 0.33. Working on crawl. Not waiting on anyone to give us some answers or something to go by. We're just going to get right into it. So, Revenant, Necromancer. Okay. This is where the fun begins with the keyboard sounds. Necro, spellcasting, dodging, stealth. 4%, 7%. 3 mana. Yeah, I didn't really come to a conclusion on a god, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Rue, honestly. Like, yeah, Che, like, you could argue Che, and, maybe if I don't know, if I ran across a crazy book or something before Temple, um, it was like, oh, here's, I think, what, like Book of Winter or something that gives you, like Freezing Cloud, Ozra Fridge, and Polar Vortex, then I might be like, okay, we'll do Che, we'll do Gehenna, we'll just pump ice, get 15 in, and just, ass blast the rest of the game. Realistically, though, it's gonna be Rue. Um, two stealth, that's good enough. Let's just grab low health. 14 isn't great. If I'm doing 3 damage with a fucking dagger, like, why am I? I'll just punch things. Did not work out on Soul Splinter. Ball Python. Grave Claw. I hate having to look at the quiver to see how many charges I have. Same percent. Let's go full screen. So we're not looking at tabs. And then it was also, I think people wanted 150% zoom. How does that look on your end, if anyone's watching? Let's update this. I mean, we kind of have to be a caster, right? That's just how this has to go. I think if we're going straight to hell, like it's not like we're going to be able to melee hell to death. Spell levels. There's still the super vague hope of getting Ascetic, but because it's really like it's just the Abyss rune first, so it's not that crazy, but it's just doing Elf and Depths with no consumables. Like that's really worrisome. I don't want to deal with that. Okay, wand technology. Nice, like that. Don't need it. Angry Vehement Altar. That's already not good. It's probably just Quicksilver. Yeah, this is a lot of damage. Step. Yep. Line up nice and good. There you go. Line up. Alright. Get that up. Grave Claw. Get more of that. 2 casts. Alright, fine. Awkward. What do they have? Quicksilver. We can get that. 2 memories. Okay. Oh no, not your PC. I would literally be lost without mine. Let's go. Alright, this is a shit situation. Yeah, I'm not going, particularly slowly or anything. I mean, Revenant's just so strong. Like, the first 3 spells for Necro are really strong. And then just being a Revenant is strong. Just being able to punch shit. Like... do I care about Invis in any way? I mean, I guess I care about Confuse. Yeah, I don't want to deal with Confuse. Okay, you're still here. Okay, Faded Altar. Let's just check for laughs. Okay. Bear. Yeah, we're not gonna have a good time with that. 2d9. Magic is just garbage. Get out of there. Try this again. Decent ring mail and a wand. So let's try and get that. Okay. Ooh, that's bad. Can't cast. Can melee. Alright, that's good. We can at least reset that. Yeah, that's fine. That's not fine. Another one. Smack. That's even worse. Don't have percent. Okay, 63 to hit me. 79 for silver. Yeah, that's the only option, so. Shame to use the last wand charge, but. Some decent experience. Now, was that scary enough for me to abandon Ascetic? I don't think so. So, we could get Animate Dead. Yeah, I'm still, like, because here's my issue with it. Like, ideally, there's a combo next week with bonuses that just let you go right to an S rune, like right to an S branch rune. And then Ascetic is as easy as it could be. But just because I have a feeling that it's not going to be that easy next week, right? It's already not easy this week. But basically, if it's shitty both times and I just go, all right, it's shitty, I'm not even going to try, then I just lose out on Ascetic. Like there's no doing that. And OUSD and the main team, OUSD already has it. The main team can probably get it. So I feel obligated to at least attempt it, like both weeks, regardless of how shitty it is. But it's not easy. There's a reason it's like a tournament banner. There is also like there's the argument to be made that you can just 1 week just abandon the God champion point, 1 point, and go for Ash, and then go for Ascetic that way, which is safer because you at least, like if shit really hits the fan and you actually need to use a consumable, they're all ID'd, so you know exactly what you have. You're not just blind reading, like not getting anything done. So, if I don't feel horribly in danger, I'll just keep trying for Ascetic. And I don't really feel that in danger yet. Ogre's a problem, though. Where was that null with the charm wand? Here? No. There, okay. Some grave claw, good. Yeah, maybe we can check the null fortress out. Boomerangs. I think this is here. Money. This thing, yeah, it can see invisible, so it can at least fight, and probably deal with it. And I'm pretty sure I can do that. That's fine. Just round these out. I hate having decimals in my numbers. Should probably get Animate Dead, but Croc is just a crazy spell, so I don't know if I want to start going for summoning, but probably get Animate Dead up, get some melee ability up, and then look at getting summoning. units. Great. There we go. How does this affect us? I don't care about Foxfire at all. The other stuff's relatively fine. 4 AC. Yeah, we'll do that. And because again, in Kindle, like the spell failures don't really mean anything. Jib is a problem, though. Well, yeah, I can have her fight some stuff. Go fight him. Looks like there's less stuff than I thought there was. I don't know if this is wasting lock charges also. Like, I don't know if they have just infinite charges while they're holding it, if it has ammo and it's wasting it. Like, I don't know the answer. Yeah, 7 charges, it's plenty. Alright, that's where we're at. Why don't you hold your ass still? I can be, you know. So how are you enjoying the very clicky, clacky keyboard noises? I think the filter's off. Pretty good. All right, great. Yeah, they probably, because I'm not talking very much, they probably do a good job filling all that dead air. Hopefully we get D4 Temple, but I'm not going to hold out hope. Okay, you play him in Corey. Yeah, Quicksilver is a good idea for the haste. We did get 1 Evo. Did that. And it didn't change the damage at all. Yeah, we'll just do that. And max Grave Claw. There we go. Easy peasy. Pargy in the wild. That is not something you see very often. What do we do for Pargy? Well, Soul Splinter's easy. Yeah, I think we can just fight him. Yeah, we're getting all the early game uniques, even the recluses that never come out, which is, you know, Maybe they heard there was a tournament. I don't know. Punch his ass. He's not even enchanted, which is very disappointing, Pargy. It's not worth it. Can't be put to sleep because we're undead. Oh, Autark, this is the unfiltered keyboard sounds. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I feel like it's, at least when I was testing it, it seemed like it was louder than me. I was probably talking quietly, but, hey, Temple. I just think it's pretty funny, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that tickles me the right way. Of a streamer who's just overshadowed by their keyboard. Is Che even here? I mean, all right. I don't even have the option. So it's Rue. We're just doing Rue. I'm not gonna think too much about it. Not great. Yeah, still having books is nice. Slaying, very good. A good amount of throwables too. Yeah, my just RC wise, like let me just pop out real quick and show you. It doesn't even scroll, right? It's just like it just shows the clocks. Like I have just show more is just off. Like I just don't bother me with that shit. This is nice because you can tab out of nets and webs and stuff. And then also I just want to pick up throwables by default. But that's it. Just change auto fight stop, some clocks. That's it. It's just it's basically not an RC file. Yeah, I can't. It's probably a me issue, but I don't really understand what I would get out of an RC file that I couldn't do just by changing the way I play. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's something you can program in to force yourself to slow down when certain things happen. Just doing a more there, like where you have to, okay, I can't move around. I have to acknowledge what's going on. And it's like I'd just rather get to the point where I'm implicitly aware of that stuff anyway, and not ossuary thing. I'd rather just be, be it me being in tune with that. And here is the fundamental weakness of Necromancer. Right here is the undead, and a strong one at that. So this is not great. I don't think Foxfire is a thing. The only thing that can do, I mean, pretty sure, yeah, he's got no soul, so you can't do that. 2 Grave Claws. So it's pretty much just throwables and wands. Yeah. Obviously nothing there yet. So let's back up more. right? He's choosing some pretty dumb spells to use. Okay, he'll just fall down the shaft. I don't want to deal with you. Nearby. Oh, there it is. Okay. These are doing some work, but it's always weird getting to these fucking things when you see one corner tile. Okay. Mummy. Same issue as with Borkula, so we'll get that to 2. That's fine. But we just have to punch stuff. I mean, with 16 with the Slay Ring, I mean, we can punch shit here, so we'll be fine. Alright, sweet. Easy peasy, just stay in the hallway. No big deal. So we've been trained in the art of fisticuffs. By one of the Wujian monks, no less, who ascended to godhood. So we be hitting hard. Okay, there's all the... Alright, pointless alarm trap. Cool. A bunch of stuff I can't use. Very nice. We'll just throw that away. Grinder, okay. Can I? Yeah. I mean, it's probably prudent just to. Oh no. I wanted to shout at it, but. Yeah, come over here. Yeah, I figured it would get Grinder. Get that out. We're at 3. Start the damage going. Because they're just gonna fart around and blink. Oh no, you stunned my wisp. Where are we going? Fighting. I don't know where I got all that strength from. Oh, it's the ring now, but I think we're still going caster long term. May want to get points in throwing, but it's fine. Oh god, it's so great getting books. God. Fucking love a good book. Yeah, I mean, it's ramparts. Like, I break for ramparts, like, every character. You just go ramparts. it doesn't matter what character it is, you get ramparts. Alright, sacrifice, finally. What do we have? I think courage is a bunch of bullshit. It's like minus slay and AC or something. Yeah, experience, yeah. Now, we could do hand. Everyone loves to sacrifice hand. You don't need rings, right? Or a shield. You know, we got claws. Yeah, it's like it's just always sacrifice every time. And oh, that's interesting too. If you, I mean, this makes sense, but like if you're level 9, you get the stat up, and then bump down to 8. Rue doesn't like take your stats away. Like I still have, whatever it is, I still have the same amount of stats. How is ramparts good enough for me? 1d5. You're going to A. Yeah, you got a ways to go. Alright, what we got? Staff, maybe. Is there a world where we're conjure? We got some conjure spells. Hailstorm is less bad than I used to think it was. So that might be an option. But we'll just hold on to that for now. And ice. I mean, this is a spell enhancer. Alright. Hailstorm might be the play. Whole lot of centaurs. I don't want to deal with that. And here's Blork that we shafted earlier. Come for his vengeance. Now, he's only 1 cold resist, so ramparts should do stuff to him. I wonder. So we'll do that. And then I'm actually going to do this. I'm just kind of curious. It went up, but I don't know if it applies to the one that I just put down. Kind of curious about that, but we'll just get to punching. And that was pretty easy. Okay. Oh, okay. Condemnation. Interesting. Have used this before on an undead. The anguish is a lot better than it seems. Yeah, obviously it's better on not undead, but it's like a reasonable. I mean, it is a Trishula, right? Yeah, it's a Trishula, so it's, you know, 1 better than a Demon Trident, I think. I mean, there's no reason to even get them if I'm doing Ascetic, but okay, we take that off. That. I'm not dealing dealing with fucking Steam Dragons. It's down again. It's still going. Fine. Ooh, excellent. Okay, solid rings now. Roots. Yeah, we definitely want that. We could. Okay, yeah, he's awake. But we can trick him with poison darts. Or maybe he's not as tricksy. I think they updated his AI in Trunk. Yeah, this is actually kind of slow for me, honestly. I would be going faster if I wasn't, you know, in tournament and talking and all that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you help me. Let you. This. Yeah. Oh, of course you're fucking invisible now. I can at least like swing. Okay. Maurice, there you are. With your stupid dead body. Ice is 8, 5. We're up to 1d10. Obviously, we want that maxed. 10. Keep going. Alright. Trishula, funny. Really expensive evocables. But they might, you know, they might end up being worth it if we're doing Ascetic. Yeah, we're all about the comedy options here. Like if we can do some funny stuff to Maurice, like we'll do it every time. Grum. I'm not that worried about you, honestly. I might even animate dead here. Just see how that goes. Okay. Not going amazing. But it turned out fine. Alright. Is Grum? Yeah, Grum's part of the squad. Alright, cool. Now we can tab. What do you have? Basic bitch wand. No, you shouldn't be having 20-hour games. That is, that's a bit much, honestly. If I can TBH for a second, it's a pretty long fucking time to spend on one game. If only I could fly. Oh, we got this at least. Yeah, like 12 hours a win. It just like well, you shouldn't manually explore that much, I don't think. I mean, I've talked to you about it, and you know my stance on that is like I'll kind of matters on D1, D2. Past that, I'm just blasting O. Not gonna spend time manually exploring. No regen. I mean, fuck stealth, right? Like, who... We definitely want armor, but yeah, fuck stealth. I'm not worried about stealth. 1d14. Yeah, 12 would be good. Where's all this crap? Oh, they're all over the place. Okay. Of course, the Trishula is the only one. I mean, like if I'm in Abyss, like I'm there to kill shit. Like I'm there to fight, you know. Like the stealth in Abyss value would be if you're not there by choice, right? Like if you get Iralchid or hit by distortion early on, then yeah, you probably want to be able to hide as best you can. But we will be going there by choice at some point. So it kind of, at that point, we just want to be killing stuff. Good, 5. Almost there. We've got a decent amount of wands now, right? Yeah. 20, that's pretty good melee. D9, no lair. And this is, we can't go in lair, right? Like it's just, or what the hell was my... Yeah, rune before entering lair. So we can't actually go in lair. Alright, just making sure I don't dip in there like a doofus. Okay. This is enough boomerangs to get throwing up. Nothing good. Gloves on Revenant, you know. That's a debate. Yeah, it's just 1 AC, right? And obviously the claws are 2 base damage, but you know, I genuinely think that early on, especially if you find +2 gloves, it's probably worth putting on. Because at that point, it's 3 AC to what's basically 2 slay. It's going to be 2 damage rating, really. Because because your strength isn't gonna be high, your fighting isn't gonna be high. So that's a trade-off I would happily make. Now, by the end of the game, when you do have a shit ton of strength and fighting and really high base damage on unarmed combat, like, then you might take the gloves off, you know? But what to do about a two-headed ogre? Do we just tell him to fuck off, or I think I'd rather start with that. No. Well, let's try something else. And not really better in any way. All right, come on. All right, there it is. Not going in there. I can animate the bees. They could be pretty useful. I don't know if they still poison when they're undead, but you know, they'll get in the way. Oh yeah, we could even do this. And there you go. How strong is he? Yeah, he's pretty good for a zombie. Nimble, no ranks in dodging. Potions after being injured. So this is the old version, which is not nearly as bad. Love. That's probably a bad idea on a necro, potentially summoner character. So yeah, it's not gonna be love. Yeah, the potion one, honestly, I don't think is that bad. Major. What is? I mean, my dodging app's -1. Like, no, I'm still gonna want dodging. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. The Ascetic angle, yeah, that's actually a really good point. So we'll sec drink. Right. Can't be stealthy. Does it not? It doesn't show up in mutations. Alright, whatever. Did I? Oh, I didn't actually do it. I guess I described it again. There we go. Okay, there it is. Oh. Okay, so it's 2 levels of it. I thought it would just be the 1 level. But I guess that puts it at 2%. I thought it was 3% at level 2, but regardless, completely inconsequential for Ascetic. So good call there. Now, that looked... it looks orcish. But if it's just got consumables, like, it doesn't matter. So on we go. Frost, and we have Ice Ring. That's a good idea. Alright, well, we found it, at least. I don't like simulacra. Fuck. not going to care about ramparts. They're really... alright, they're not that fast. Such low voltage. Should be fine. Okay. That on. Overslaying. Yeah, the fiend ending layout is still around. I don't think it can show up this early. I think if it's that layout, it spawns Reapers this early on. Let's just get these guys. Yeah, even if it was the Ice Fiend, it would just kind of tickle being undead. I mean, like, nothing I do, or nothing I have can actually do anything, which is not great. So we're just a melee guy. Here. Oh, good, they're slow. That was big. Yep, Death Yak. Alright, can get some health back. Not a huge deal. Kindle, but like there's nothing to even really use with it. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm curious. Okay, we're out of charges on that. So it's Foxfire, definitely. Alright. Statue. Hailstorm might be good here. Roots. Or just punching it, you know. Yeah, not a great start. Weak to fire, but can't do anything else to it. I have no consumables. This feels like a very bad idea, actually. Like, I'm fairly sure I can't vamp drain a statue. Yeah, it's immune to negative. Like, the casts are painful, and then the clouds. 19. Yeah, is there? Let's see if we can try to go this way. this isn't as bad. Alright, cool stuff. We like getting stuff. Now we're on the other side of the statue. Okay. Yeah, this is probably, almost definitely the Ice Giant ending. Frost Giant, whatever. Constrict is so bad. Yep, it's getting worse. Anaconda Simulacrum are fucking horrible. Okay, hello. Hey, that's nice. Love a leather of resist. That's endgame stuff. Hey, come back to me. Oh, Reaper. Okay, so not the Frost Giant. I really, this was a misplay. I should have backed off, put the resist on, and then wore the slaying, and that would have made this a lot easier. But what can you do? You go deal with him. Okay, hello. Mr. Reaper. What do we do with you? Yeah, you're not going to be charmed. 50 for a net, that's not bad. So what we could do, that, and just slap your shit. A little risky with the last couple slaps. He hit pretty hard a few times, but you know, what can you do? Okay, that's nice. And ice magic. Ooh, okay, we can be an icy boy. We take the gun. These are some of the worst scales of all time. But they do give us fly, so now we can go get the fucking sack of spiders on that one floor. So actually a pretty big get. that. Cold. Well, we do. Oh, we're already at inventory limits. God damn it. Well, so I could really commit to the bit and just drop all the scrolls and potions. I think that would be pretty funny. But I'm more likely to drop that there. Not worry about Parky. Logitech, don't care. But alchemy, you don't need the poise around alchemist. Okay. We've gotten to 11. Let's get D11. No, we don't need the, well, let's not wear this goofy ass ice armor. Don't need that for now. We probably won't ever put this on again, honestly, with the leather. Like, that's just a much better setup than Ring Mail of Strength. This we'll probably move into, though. Not actually using Conj right now, but a double enhancer for ice with an ice manual, like, that's a pretty big, you know, if we get the spells, that definitely pushes us towards Gehenna for the Hell Rune. You know, if we can find the I think Book of Winter that has all the good ice spells, you know, we would essentially be hitting a jackpot. Yeah, these aren't going to be able to send. Let's back off. Come here. Okay, cool. Skeleton Warriors. My arch nemesis. Once again, the downfall of the necromancer is the undead. And I don't want to spend the spell levels on this. It would be a good way to kill warriors, but do I just have to out melee them? Like, they're, I mean, I feel like they can kick my ass. Let's just try the third stereo. Okay. This ramparts can get one more, whatever. Do that. I get caught out by the warriors, like I'm pretty screwed. But I need to find orcs, so it's not like I have a choice. 33. Yeah, why not? Moving too fast. Mind burst. It's just a wizard. Okay. You guys are fine. Come on down. It's the greatest show in town. Thank you. Alright, so now we're back to warriors. answer. I don't. Is it just the 2? I have a 3rd upstairs. Okay, we'll try that. Yeah, slightly better. We'll do that. Once again, a warrior. Cave. Alright, so that's all that. What is no empty room? Wyvern. Alright, so we've managed to avoid the skeleton warriors at least. Let's just put a note here. So at least we know coming up, we should have a reminder. And there's a bazaar. Okay. We've spent no money so far, so that's pretty good. That's not anything. Very distant. I guess I'll go down. Hey Rue, what's up? Okay. So we've got another XP, which gets us to APOC. So that's the clear front runner. Artifice also gets us to APOC, but that's one of the last things I want to sacrifice. Arcana. I do like sacking Arcana when I know what I'm going to be doing. But I have enough good Teal Oak spells, and if I find Pog or Blink, and I can't train Teal Oak, I'm going to feel like a doofus. Not that I really have like much experience to spare for utility stuff, like rushing straight into hell, but you know, it's hard to argue with Pog overall. Locking yourself out of that would be pretty shitty. Alkin Air I don't really care about. Alk has no crossover with Ice. Air, though, would lock me out of Freezing Cloud, which would be really shit. So I think it has to be Experience again. It brings us down to 9. So, I mean, we'll be missing, we'll be 2 levels below even, even being severely behind for where we're going to be. I mean, the only thing that matters about the experience levels really is like health and mana that you gain on leveling up, and it delays a stat up, but we'll get it before we're in like really hot water anyways. Like we'll get it by probably by the end of Elf we'll be 15. So we're just gonna do experience again. Okay, APOC, cool. And what did we do along the way? Potions, Ascetic, doesn't matter. Stealth, who cares? And experience twice. All right, that's a really, to me, that's a really good like ruse set. Those are all things that I'm very happy to give up. Yeah, you're not. Oh, you are immune to neg. Okay. I mean, I could APOC. It feels unnecessary. Yeah, she has Dispel Undead. That increases the argument for APOC by a lot. And we just got it, so let's yeah, I mean, yeah, you might as well. Let's see. We don't have great spells yet to go towards. Like it's ramparts and the basic necro book still. Like what do you even? Yes, I know, Kitty. What do you even like go towards stuff? Dispersal isn't an end game plan. Like it's just not. Gava, I hear a lot of good things, but I don't think it's a main plan. So we still don't really have a plan yet, unfortunately. So since we don't have a spell plan, I'm just gonna keep going with melee. Nessos. Well, maybe I can just do this instead. I want the Bazaar. And I want that. Drop that for that. Very distant still, like. This weird hive. Just Centaur Brigade over here. I feel like the Bazaar is in the middle somewhere, so like do I just need to deal with them, or stately tolling, very distant, very distant, very distant. So I just haven't been near it like at all. So I feel like it's in this, it's gotta be in the center here somewhere. Okay, that was very quick, very quick shot from Nessos. That was cute. If we go here, do I have to do it like that? Okay, I mean that also tells me so. 56. And you are a silly little golden eye now. Cool longbow nerd. The dancing weapon is weird. Alright. Clicking buttons too fast. Can't do that. this is just a shit fault, isn't it? Oh, thank God, cheap followers on something or another. First time banning someone. Cool. All right. Rakshasa. Yeah, I've really made it to the big leagues against Scambots. That just puts it there. And that's still not max. Yeah, your will's good. Not just a sack to help out. Yeah, you're alright, I'm here. God damn you. Still distant. Still cannot find this fucking thing. Is this it? Hello? Bell nearby. Okay, so we're... I mean, maybe it's that white thing, but it also might be on the perimeter down here. Clearly not there. And now we're back to distant over here. So I think it's this, or like down here maybe. But we are probably not making it. Bell nearby, okay. So that's not it. Where? Very distant again. We're never getting there. Like, what? Oh, you fucker. Alright. We made it. Nothing crazy. Maybe. And a mimic. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty shitty bizarre, honestly. Like a regen MP neck with Dex. Resist corrosion ring, like an int ring. It's really not good. you know, could maybe, let's just, cause we'll get one curing, just in case like that's the one thing that will save our life. It's worth breaking Ascetic for. At least we know one more thing now. I don't really care about IDing Brilliance. So it's, I mean, it's basically just a ring or the amulet. Resist corrosion, probably not a bad idea. But it's not like I'm going anywhere where that really matters soon. We're looking at Dungeon, Orc, Elf, Depths, Abyss, Lair, Hell. Corrosion really doesn't matter in any of those places very much. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking it's int ring because then I can, like, swapping slaying for int makes sense to me. Yeah, maybe eventually we'll get some fucking spells. So we'll do that. Yeah, that faith amulet I don't care about. We can live without poison darts. Yeah, pretty much a bust on the Bazaar, so that's disappointing. It's Snorg. And mostly just punch him to death. Effective. I don't have Nets, no Curare. We should sack. Evo's 3. Oh, Rue slowed them. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that. That'll be fine. Of course, as soon as I give up poison darts, we get boulder beetles. Oh, thank God we got a shield. Moving up in the war. If I had any fucking space, acrobat, you gotta go. Buckler time. Nothing I care about is much worse off. Anything else? No. Do we have willpower at all? The scale mail. That would be nice. Fuck Foxfire, who cares? Animate dead. It would be nice. No enlightenment. 56%. That is really dangerous. And I have no real emergency buttons. I should probably get Hailstorm, but I really don't feel great about that. So we'll put that on. I mean, that's better. Yeah, I can't make it. I really can't make it better, so. And if that's the case, yeah, we'll do that, but then I might as well get Necro up a bit more. I'm gonna bet that the volcano. Oh, all right, immediately proven wrong. I hate this one where it's like can only get there from one side. That might make more sense inside, but don't think it matters that much. Okay, so this is the one that's gonna have like draconians or ogres, like ogre mages, and it's really disproportionately difficult. With Ascetic, it's probably just not a good idea to even try this, but. Now I need to make room for a potion I can't even use. How does that make sense? We'll drop flame. Okay, this is appearing to not be the volcano I'm thinking of. Which is great for me. Fire resist. Okay. Alright, I guess that's it. Very uneventful. Nothing I really want to drop, so we'll leave the flame wand. Yeah, sure, it sure has the Gehenna vibe, Jalvin, but we're loosely planning to do Gehenna as our Hell branch. We got an ice manual. So we can find the spells that's like, a solid course of action. It's just a matter of finding them. Another sacrifice. I do not want that. No dodging. I don't want that. Reduced accuracy. The will minus gets us maxed out at least. But like again, I have APOC already. Like I feel like even if you're not me and you're not choosy about sacrifices, once you get APOC, you should probably be discerning, right? And I don't want any of this, so we're not doing that rule. Yeah, okay. I'm glad that that is... At least people can agree on that. That once you have APOC online, like, there's no reason to just take whatever. Okay, so we're really not doing bad so far. Still on the Ascetic train. These are just like happenstance IDs. So no potion or scroll use yet. But this is the easy part for that. But once we get to elf, it is probably going to fall apart. Necro, animate dead 17. I mean, that's fine. You're gonna be the same. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to deal with two of them. That's what even is the option? Quicksilver's overkill. I don't care that he's hasted. Robo willpower, fine. Anything good in the robe of folly. That'd be great. It's a great item to build into. We'll keep our eye on that. I've never used it, but it would be pretty funny to use. actually had ammo. Guess we get a reap going. God, this is ugly. Alright, that's better, but I mean, all I can do is claw. Not a big deal. Bookstore, though, very nice. Manifold. Apport. Keep that on the list. Ooh, there's the Rime Blight. Okay. And there's Permafrost. Okay, so we have a path towards ice and can aim for Gehenna now. Yeah, we almost definitely. Yeah, I mean we'll get that quickly. They're both even close to castable right now with Enkindle. Yeah, we'll finish out throwing. That's fine. I'll pull up Earth. Yeah, I think that's good for now. Okay. Decent jewelry. This is just a better int ring. But the will RF is probably more important. Arlec Synv Fly. I mean, it's almost definitely. I mean, I'm just gonna take that one off, but it's definitely those two for Elf. Everything about that is really, like, everything on there is important. The RF, the will, the Arlec, the Synv, you know, Fly, whatever. But those are all the resists I really care about in Elf. Like even the Synv, too much stuff goes in Viz there. Don't. That was easy. Okay. Well. I think we'd probably go for, I mean, it just makes sense to go for Permafrost before Rime Blight, even though we have, you know, 10 Necro, 13 Ice. We don't have any Earth yet, but it's just less experience, I think, to get to Permafrost. And then we can also afford Tambourine, which is gonna make Ascetic a lot safer. We can blast up to 10 Evo, and we have an amazing consumable. But that looks like it for Orc. Yeah, a lot of really good stuff to spend money on, right? Not worried about 1 AC. 1 we'll forget cantrips for now. The robe's a meme, unfortunately. But the rest of this stuff is all really solid. Now, alright, all we have left is dungeon. Before elf. So we can get, we can get some more gold and come back and, not make a decision yet. There's no reason to get the books until we can at least cast them reasonably within Kindle. I guess the thing that's most immediately impactful is tambourine, like every time. I'm just worried. Like there's just no way I'll have enough gold for all of this before elf, right? So we can kind of forget about Rime Blight at least. Even though it's honestly like it's a better spell than Permafrost. That's going to be controversial, but for how I need it to work and where I'm going, Rime Blight like punches way above the weight class over Permafrost. Yes, I know, very, very controversial. But Permafrost at low power is not very strong. I mean, look at it. It's 16 times 2. I know my fail's really bad on that, but Rime Blight, just the one cast, you can get it onto 3 things. Once they die, it spreads. As it's on them, they have a chance to explode. They can leave behind the icy crystals to block hallways and stuff. It's actually a tough call. Rime Blade isn't going to do anything really for dancing weapons. Permafrost would be better for them, but again, where are we on experience? We have 2.5 in Earth Magic and 10 in Necro already. So if we just, focus Ice, at least until the manual ran out, then it's probably just an easier decision at that point. But trying to do Elf way ahead of time, Rime Blight might be the play. Because, I mean, look, I have 15 MP. Like, I'm not going to be spamming Permafrost. That's just not it, right? Like, 5 spell casting, I get I'm low on that, but Revenant, you're minus 20% off the rip. And yeah, you can restore it with Rue, but and you have Enkindle. Let's actually look. I'm just curious what the percents look like with more int. 9813, 9916. So I mean, it's basically identical. Yeah, we'll think about it. Ideally, we get, we're gonna want both eventually. It's just we have to pick one for Elf. And then I feel like I at least need the Arlex Synth Ring. Because Zephyr bounces just get out of control. And the Knights are a pain in the ass without Synth too. I have, RF Will on the scale, which is, it's something. So right now it's probably the Arlec ring and a book. Hopefully I get enough for Gravitamborine, but the Tamborine's not that effective without 10 evo, so I want to rush. I want to rush the ice, so we're not going to worry about Tambourine. The rings don't matter right now. Yeah, we're just in limbo until we finish dungeon, fortunately. Okay. Yeah, you got the slow. Good for you. Yaktor's wounded. This'll take the slow off. Yeah, we're just no reason to fuck around with that. Just not go on ramparts? Is it that smart? Whatever. Okay, there it is. +1 gloves. Tempting. Ice still going. How are the books? 13. And that also, you know, that's going to go down, switching to the leather pretty significantly. Yeah, they don't have RC. Okay, that's interesting. We're definitely committed to the caster bit though, so we're not gonna be wearing chainmail. Though that is nice. Drop these, take these. We don't have any armor training at all, so that's really, it would be hard to justify gloves, but no boots anywhere either. That sucks. Come here, you. Don't care. What do you want, Rue? Fire Hex Summon. Well, hexes I really don't care about. What are my apps? Hex -2, fire -2, summon -1. Now, the only summon I have is Croc. It's the only one I care about, at least. That, no. And Ice Beast, no. So I think that's definitely Arcana. We're not losing an eye. We're not doing Courage. So Arcana it is. Oh, level 12. Moving on up. Well, manual just won't quit. Home of the Centaurs, this floor, apparently. Clever. It's just, how long do manuals last? This feels like too long. I'm not happy about that much corrosion. But if we do that, it won't be so bad. Get some claw mileage. Alright, cool. Yeah. Ooh, the shaft. Okay. It's a bit late for it, but it's interesting. The overview doesn't think I've been to 15 yet. I imagine if I take a step. Huh. That's weird. Deal. And we can just take that. Alright, so nothing to worry about with shafts. That's nice. There's so many centaurs. Even simulacra. Okay, come on. I should probably go right and around because this is too many. This is too many Boggarts. This is just Boggart City now. 88, 91. I mean, it's just pick one. You know. Ugh, you had to summon Meliai. That's really bad. I don't fuck, but what? I don't know. When they summon like a centaur, do they come in with a weapon? I don't. Because if he can only melee me, it's not that big a deal. But I mean, 3 melee can just kill me next turn, so I don't actually have a choice here. Hey, demonstrator. We are still kicking. We're still Rue. We're still Ascetic. We've got some good spells in Orc. We've got Permafrost and Rime Blight. Some good rings for Elf. It's looking better than I would have expected it to. Honestly, overall. He's already dead? What the fuck? Come on. Do you know what got him? Alright, so I don't know if you guys can still see this. Okay, yeah, you can still see this. Oh, he went Kiku. Okay. Okay, so he got to a branch end, like, same as me, just probably got to the end of Orc, at least. Sun Demon, Orc Sorcerer in the Mines, yeah. Yeah, that's a shame. He even had RF, which really sucks there, but Sling of Draining. Yeah, he didn't have anything outside the starter book. He just went melee. He was just a melee dude with the occasional, zombie friend. You got a Bailey, that's nice. I wonder, is he no, he wasn't trying for Ascetic either, so rip. What actually happened, like at the end? Shouting, probably had an army, blah blah blah. Okay. Claw the sword, scratch, block Sun Demon. Flames, oh yeah, got parried, got hit. Yeah, can't dodge. And then Sun Demon still going. I don't know if he's still paralyzed at this point. Was he? Yeah. I don't see him getting out of paralyzed. So it looks like he got parried and then just slapped to death by a Sun Demon. Yeah, while paralyzed. Yeah. No, that'll do it. Yeah, that will do it. It was why I was, a stickler about the will in there, because that, that'll get you. This is dangerous. Alright, we finally finished the ice manual. That's nice. Well, now I gotta decide on spells. So 7, 86. So the spell failure just means very little. I could get it lower faster on permafrost, but I have 16 mana. Like, I have 2 casts of permafrost. I also have 2 casts of Rime Blight. And I can just tell you from experience that if you had to choose between 2 casts of Rime Blight or 2 casts of permafrost, the Rime Blight will get you way further off those 2 casts. You can clear like a whole floor almost, or a whole vault, or, you know, especially with like Animate Dead, or, you know, maybe we find Death Channel, get super duper lucky. You know, Rime Blight, Death Channel, Animate Dead, that's the rest of the game, like, set. And permafrost doesn't really play that well with allies, right? Yeah, I'm deciding on Rime Blight. I know permafrost is very good, but we've sacrificed XP twice. We're trying to do Ascetic. We can't just suddenly like drink a magic potion to get more permafrost. Obviously, we can use Enkindle, but that's like a one-time thing. For actual value, it's Rime Blight every day of the week. Okay, so that's 510. The Tambourine can wait, and Rime Blight can also wait. Alright, I'm glad I waited, because it's probably going to be the rings, honestly. And then, at least one ring. Because I might want to get Rime Blight online in Elf. But we'll get there. How fast are you? Slow? Far away. Yeah, I'll just leave. That's fine. I'm just not gonna deal with you. It's 5. Okay, so yeah, Petrifying Simulacrum is a little weird. But I kind of follow it. You know, most living things made of water. Simulacrum, entirely water. Maybe the spell just turns water to stone. You know? That's my headcanon, at least, for why it makes sense. It's a water to stone spell. Yeah, I have 2 shields. Yeah, I always forget about APOC because it's just such a silly button to see a group like that and go, I win. And it doesn't cost me anything. I could do it here again. Like it. You know, why wouldn't I? I guess my health is pretty low now, but probably too low, honestly. Alright, that's less fine than I thought it would be. Alright, whatever. No, I want to finish it up, so come on over. U2 simulacra. Alright. That's dungeon, that's orc, that's the early game. No lair. Let's go clear the skeleton warriors. Okay. All right, that works. What, just do a go on a quick melee break? That'd be goofy. I would never want. I would never want to stream melee. I'm so fucking bad at it. Like, it would just be like, what are you doing? But it is fun. All right. So, going back to this, let's actually look at 36%. Okay, so that's big. We lose the will though. That's painful. Well, if we do this, all right, let's move that around. Down to 26. Okay, that's very nearly castable. We can grab that will ring. So that's 1100. The other one is a few hundred off still. So, all right, so we have to stay this for now. We could get Rime Blight just to have it on Enkindle, right? But what I think is gonna help is all we have left is elf. We have to go do elf now. I think I have to get the rings, and then kind of just do elf with what we have still. I can manage it with Animate Dead, and you know I might actually pick up Hailstorm. I don't have any amnesia. That's a problem. But my spellcasting's only at 5, so it's not a real problem. Yeah, so let's do rings. We're not going to those. We don't have something to care about for that. Well, actually, we'll drop the ring and take the staff, and the reason for that is going from unarmed to a weapon is just half a turn. If I were to ring swap to like get, you know, the enhancer or the RC, the staff is faster, and also, you know, you don't lose the RF with the staff, so the ring is just like a worse option. Feel pretty good about this though. We'll quickly get the gold in elf for Rime Blight. So it makes sense to keep training for it. But we may also want to press pause and just get, you know, left side of the screen stuff. Because we don't need, you know, we don't need less than 5% on animate dead. So we'll actually cut that off. Get a tad bit more unarmed. We only have 2 ox slots, so it's, and I'm almost definitely going back to the leather. So training armor doesn't make a ton of sense to me, right? Like, help E. And 1 level gives 0.3 AC. Okay, so like 3 armor, 4 armor would give me an AC. 3-4 more dodging would give me an EV. Alright, so if I get everything up to like, I don't know, like 6 or so, I'll have at least 1 more in everything. So I'm happy to do that. They're cheap. And also funny evil number, haha. And more health, big deal. The spell casting. If I get Hailstorm, we go down to 4. Yeah, we'll get Hailstorm. That's worth it. Yeah, 67%, 36 at range. Elves are quite squishy. Yeah, 40 health. So that'll do good work against elves. I think it's really like fighting and defenses that I care about until getting the money for Rime Blight, and then I might change my mind a bit. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Alright, so let's get these on. Yeah, it's still castable, that's fine. That over the prot. I mean, those are crazy defenses. I just, or crazy resists. I mean, just my physical defense is awful. Jeez. Yeah, like, I mean, I'd have to break Ascetic, hoping to get like enchant armor. I'm not happy about doing that. Like, I'm not gonna wear, I don't even know what I have these. I'm not gonna wear those at any point. Yeah, I think this is as good as it's really gonna get. Like, if I come up against a dancing weapon or like you know, Blade Master or an Archer or something, I can swap to a prot ring. Lose the Arlec ring for prot. And that's not as bad, but it's still like, it's still 17 AC. So I'm actually, yeah, we'll prioritize defense. Probably armor first. Yeah, we'll get some armor, finish off that Necro. And go from there. But this is in pretty good shape, I think, for Ascetic. You know, Rue by themselves kind of solves every problem you would run into that you would want consumables for, right? Like, this is your heal wounds, this is your magic pot, this is like your cancel. I mean, it gets rid of nets, webs, constriction. It's like a blink. Gets rid of petrify, slow. So cancel, curing, heal wounds, magic, all in one. Great thing to use. And then obviously the controlled blink. Like, who doesn't want Baraki Hop? And you know, the goat of APOC. It's not very strong because we sacked XP twice. We're not at max piety, but it's still APOC. So just make sure I didn't miss anything. D11, take that off. Just check my little strategy thing here. Dungeon Orc Elf. Depths. Rue. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Gehenna is still the front runner, definitely. The scrolls you really care about there are like Blank and Telly anyways. And you just get that with Rue, with the leap. Alright. Probably just gonna check what's in here. See how bad it is. This is a very tame ambush vault for Elf. This is very not intimidating. Like, I don't want to like put it off until tomorrow, basically. So we'll do a little bit of this at least, but I don't think I'm gonna finish Elf tonight. Maybe 1 and 2 without doing Hollow Blades, because you know we're a fisty boy. There's no reason to go in there. All right, up here. Yeah, you can. Yep. Just making sure we have the Orlek. And just before I encounter one on the first level, 6% banishment. Okay, I can completely live with that. Come with me. Okay. 22 is not very good. The no slaying kind of sucks. So we can probably afford to do that, because that'll help boomerangs too. Make them more of an option. Sack, okay. No potion heal. Okay, so we're kind of, again, we're leaning into Ascetic with this. It gets us maxed out, and I mean, it's just health. You know, if we do, if we did Cocytus, it wouldn't matter at all, right? Obviously, we can't use potions. Assuming we're doing Gehenna, though. It's a little. Even worse MP. I really don't want to deal with that. More network connection detected. Average stream bitrate too high. Alright, so I might need to take the bitrate down. The eye we're just not doing. So I think Potion Heal seals it. I think we're pretty well committed to this because, you know, getting through Elf with Ascetic is looking not that hard, or not that bad at least. Depths is going to be worse, but it's only active until we get the rune, right? So we're going Elf, Depths, and then the Abyss rune, at which point we can, you know, take off the restraints. So we're gonna do no potion heal. That's fine. And we are fully awakened. Excellent. Sometimes can't drink potions, and it's only level 1 of it too. That's not bad. This blocks it completely, but alright, fully awakened with Rue. Very nice. That's not so nice. Yeah, not a big fan of you guys. Here's fine though. Okay, you again. Good thing I spotted you. Stunned, good. Can do that. So that we get them. Okay. Tropa, I don't care about. Okay, translocations. This might do something. Too far. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Hello? We'll do that. Okay, 4 armor, we're up to 14. Good. Yeah, we'll do shield next because it'll at least help slightly with casting as well. Let's do some of this. Infestation. Okay, so the necro endgame is there with Rime Blight and Infestation. Just need to not kill ourselves going for Ascetic. This already doesn't look good. not at all. Goddamn. That's not a thing. Maybe last roots on it. But that works. That's fine. Okay. We avoid that thing. Shapeshifter, most likely. Yeah. There you go. And that's it. Alright, looks like everyone has left for the night. Well, that's 3 hours for me. I think that's a pretty good first stream. And we have managed not to die yet, which is nice. Still working on Ascetic. Had a couple deaths. Not many people have started yet, but we'll drop a dump just so we have that. And we can just real quick just show off that we don't have any potion or scroll use. Oh, hey, demon. Thank God I'm not alone. I feel like an idiot talking to myself. But we're still going, you know. We're still hanging in there. But if you're still here, we'll just do Alright, Apocalypse just beats everything. Alright, that works. Boop. Smack. And walk. And bye. Alright, there we go. Bit spooky there for a second. Yeah, we still got the good rings on, so... yeah, that's still not great. Hey, boots! Just wanted the boots. Bad spot to be. Why? Alarm bells going off with this night for whatever reason. Getting low on wands. Really close to the book. Really close. That's a huge option to open up. I think I want to leap away. It's only range 3 though, and he's gonna catch up to me with haste. Oh, Revenant's crazy. Like Ghoul is really, you know, one-dimensional. Like all you do is you punch things. But Revenant is bananas. Like, hey, Contrarian Orange, nice to see you. We're hanging in there so far. Haven't died. We went Rue. These are the sacks we did. We're doing or attempting the Ascetic one-time bonus. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, dude. Like my whole strategy for the tournament was like wait a few days until someone else won it and then just look at their morgue and you know just copy it. Just like, okay, cool, I have a blueprint for winning the game. Let's just, go off that. But this time I decided not to do that. But the first portion of this stream was just kind of strategizing out what to do for the character. Yeah, you're only gonna see like, you know, the progress players almost basically are, you'll be able to find their morgues on it. But it's like they're almost definitely playing it without restrictions, right? Um, they're not restricted to God choice. They don't have these goofy bonus conducts where they don't go to S branches, don't even go to lair, like have to go to hell first, or like, so the strategy is just I don't want to say it's not applicable looking at their morgues because it's obviously helpful, but so for spells where we're at, this is the library so far. We just got infestation. We've got a lot of good translocation stuff, and we didn't sacrifice it with Arcana, so that's still like it's still open as an option. But what we did find that was important really was an ice manual. So our ice is super high. We found ramparts early on with hailstorm, I think. That's just been carrying for like the whole game so far because ramparts is crazy. The real thing that we're looking at next is getting Rime Blight, and we actually have options here. There's a book with Permafrost Eruption and a book with Rime Blight in Orc, and I've decided to go with Rime Blight. I know Permafrost on paper better spell. A lot of people aren't fans of Rime Blight, but the biggest limiter, the biggest factor for me is the mana pool. Like I have low spell casting, so it'll get better, but right now I can't even cast Permafrost 3 times, right? Like I'm at 2 casts of Permafrost Eruption. And while it's a good spell, 2 casts of anything just isn't very good. Except if it's something that's really long lasting, high value, right? Something like casting Death Channel twice is like a big deal. That would be really, really impactful. But another one of those spells in that category is Rime Blight. If you can get 2 Rime Blights off, you can clear a whole screen. It might take a while, but it'll get there. Like it'll work through it eventually. Because it just propagates, it spreads. When something dies, it applies to something else, and like you can actually get a lot of mileage out of it. And so that's my thinking on it. I feel like I got pretty lucky on items and spells. Good rings out of Orc. Yeah, Vamp Train is a really great carry on Revenant, especially because you can enkindle it, and then not only do you get like bonus spell power on the Vamp Drain, the melee attack it procs also heals you. So like the healing you get off Vamp Drain on Revenant is just bananas, right? You can just you can punch way above your weight class with that combo. And Graveclaw has been putting in work too. Like it's still relevant now. So pretty good path with Ice going forward. We've got a Tambourine too, which is gonna make even make Ascetic even easier. Haven't broken it yet. These are just kind of incidentally identified. I think like the ambrosia was from a hive vault, and the curing, like I bought one in a shop just to ID it in case of a, break glass in case of emergency situation. But the god, like, I don't think Kiku is the way. Like, all the benefits of Kiku, you miss out on being undead. They provide, yeah. No, you're good. I was just like wrapping it up anyways. This was probably going to be my last floor. But I don't think Kiku is the way because all the good spells you get from Kiku, from the Necronomicon, you can't use if you're undead, right? You can't use Death's Door if you're undead. You can't use Revivification if you're undead. So, like, what's the point? And then the other, like, significant thing from Kiku for Extended is, like, they can just straight up block Torment. Yeah, Infest Haunt, yeah, that's definitely... I don't know if the Necronomicon still has Infestation. I would like, well, so the book, like the actual Necronomicon book, if you found it, that does have it. But I think the capstone ability from Kiku doesn't have Infestation. I know there's some spell missing in the Kiku capstone, uh, and so it's less good than you would hope it to be. Um, but yeah, all in all, on top of that, I don't think Kiku is very strong in general. Che's not a terrible idea because you're kind of a hybrid as a Revenant. You can, melee and spellcast reasonably. So all the stats are nice. But like Rue, honestly, I think the power level is just higher on Rue. It's more flexible. APOC is just such a good. It's just such a good ability. It just carries the whole game pretty much. And for me, at least, Rue covers a lot of the things that I would use consumables for doing Ascetic. So that's how I landed on Rue. But let me try not to die here. Yeah, I could totally be wrong on the Kiku thing. Yeah, that you can apparently do. I think you can do minus XL 3 times. In fact, because we're at 2 of 3. No, if I'm wrong about the Kiku thing, then yeah, that's definitely better. But also, I know that it's changed over time, so I'm not like if it's from the wiki or learn DB, grain of salt or whatever. Yeah, Kiku. I mean, just committing to the necromancy bit in general doesn't feel great to me when I do it. Maybe I'm just a necro hater or whatever. But like how do you argue with Apocalypse? You know what I mean? Like Infestation, Haunt, eventually, great. Rue, Apocalypse now, early, oh, way better, way better. But I teach their own. I don't think anyone's like wrong if they go Kiku. But based on how I play and how I like to play, Yeah, I mean, if I think you would lose the argument every time if you argued against Apocalypse. Like you would just lose. It's not a winning stance to take. So Rue, I think, is the, at least for me, is the way to go this week. Holy Wrath. Okay, there we go. We'll just finish those. Whatever. Yeah, I know this is half resistible, but like Graveclaw is still useful, right? For dancing weapons, at least. Like it's just, you know, chunk of physical damage that can't miss, and also it procs Graveclaw or Spellclaw or whatever. So yeah, just disclaimer: I am not a great player by any means. So take anything that may be construed as advice from this stream with a grain of salt. Because what I think is going to work for me very well may not. You know, I could die very, very soon here. And it also may not be good advice for other people. It's hard to say with any certainty what's going to work for someone else. But I don't think you're in Contrarian. I don't think you're in Particle Faces Discord, but there was a neat idea floated today that you might be interested in if you wanted to hear about it. One mind burst. Oh, cool. Yeah. No, I thought it might be something you would be interested in participating in, because that's kind of partly what I'm getting at here is just trying to figure out different people's play styles and like how to analyze that and kind of garner some interesting information about how different people play. So I thought that would be a cool thing to do. Yeah, I mean, I might as well drop scrolls. I'm not using them. Feels dumb to hold on to them. Yeah, we'll drop a scroll. I'd rather have Mind Burst. It's definitely better. Okay, we've got Rime Blight. It's perfectly castable with Enkindle, even with the Scale Mail. Just need one more spell casting, and we can get that. Okay, cool. All right, I am going to leave it off here. I just drop another dump real quick. I wish there was like a better, like a better way to phrase that, because it just sounds gross every time. And just, you know, triple checking constantly that I haven't used a scroller potion inadvertently. But I think I'm good. I think I'll be able to get there on Ascetic. You know, even if I can't clear like the Elf 3 vault, right? I should be able to also, you know, also maybe not full clear depths, but at least get to the Abyss portal, and then it's just like a fight to the rune, right? So that I can unlock all my consumables once I get it. And then backtrack and, you know, clear everything else a lot safer. But I don't feel that weak right now. I feel like I can handle Elf 3 with Rime Blight. But we'll see. We'll figure it out tomorrow. But yeah, that'll do it for me for tonight. First time streaming was pretty interesting for me. Totally not used to talking to myself. Hopefully for the couple people that stuck around, Demonstrator, Contrarian, Jalvin, Autark, thanks y'all for hanging out. Good time for me. And good luck in the tournament and any of your crawling endeavors. Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.